is 9:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You have a good weekend, Mason?
It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Joan, you have a good weekend?
Had a great weekend.
Let's go. We had an awesome weekend. My boys and me and my buddy Justin went to the Preds game on Saturday.
Oh,
I know.
cool.
I know. My buddy Justin Lee, he sings and he performs downtown a bunch. Good guy, great guy. He has season tickets.
Oh, nice.
And he said, "Do you want to take the boys to a game?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." But we decided to mess with the boys a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So we told the boys that we had to go help Justin move. and I said, "There's going to be a lot of heavy stuff. You guys are going to have to help us out, and we're going to help Justin move." And to their credit, the boys didn't complain. They're like, "All right, Dad, let's go. Let's go."
We're ready to move.
And
Joke's on you, man.
we got to Justin's house, and he had just bought new furniture. Mm-hmm. So there's an old couch that somebody was going to come pick up that was out front. So I was like, perfect. I said, "All right, boys, we're going to start there. I'm going to need you guys to get the couch in the back of the truck." They're like, "Okay, Dad, we'll see what we can do." And it was like perfect. And then Justin came out, and he's like, "No, there's a box in the back seat though that I'm going to need your help with." And my son Brooks like, "We're taking boxes out of the truck?" He's like, "This doesn't make any sense."
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of back and forth.
He's like, "Just open it up," and then there's some Preds tickets in there.
Nice.
They were jazzed.
That's so cool.
So we got to go see the Preds whoop some tail over the weekend.
So SNL was making fun of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
and I got the SNL bit that we're going to play later on in the show. I'm saving it for the lightning round. Preds in the community. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's actually really good.
Very rarely these days does SNL become funny.
Yeah, that's so true.
But there was big winners, big losers over the weekend. Preds depends on what side of the aisle you fall on. Let's talk about Halloween for a second. Big winner of Halloween was none other than J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance embracing the meme. If you're watching us on Super Talk TV, you'll see J.D. in full meme apparel as he celebrated Halloween.
It's probably one of my
Happy
favorite.
Halloween, kids. And remember, say thank you.
So good. It's so good. It's so creepy.
Love him.
He does the knife hand. He says, "Say thank you."
It's so good.
So good. Big winner of the weekend, J.D. Vance. Big loser of holiday weekend would be the Vail School District in Tucson, Arizona. Do you see what their teachers decided to wear for Halloween?
I did not.
So the teachers decided to wear white shirts that said "Problem solved," and all of them had blood coming from their neck. Public school teachers.
Raising your kids right.
There's 8 public school teachers wearing "Problem solved." These people are sick. If you ever want to look at a homeschooling advertisement, it's on your screen on Super Talk TV. Vail Public Schools. They tried to get out of it. They tried to say that this wasn't the same thing. They said, "We understand that a recent social media post showing members of the math department wearing shirts that say 'Problem solved' has caused some confusion and concern."
Yeah, please clarify.
They say the shirts were worn in reference to solving math problems. Please explain the blood coming from the neck, then.
Yeah, they destroy 2 + 2.
Any reference that these shirts were related to something other than that, the math problems, are simply false and untrue. The staff wearing them care deeply about children. Most of them live in our community and have served the families in Vail for many years. These shirts were worn both this and last year as part of math-themed Halloween costumes and were not intended as a reference to any person, event, or political issue. We apologize that the wearing of these shirts caused concern and were upsetting to some. That was absolutely not the intent of those who wore them. We are sorry, and the shirts will not be worn again. This is a hard lesson for all of us, that more thought and care need to be taken in these times. Please know that a lesson has been learned. We're also saddened that this situation has called into question the character of people who truly love children and would put their life on the line to help them. We ask for your grace and forgiveness. We also want to express concern that some individuals are being targeted online as a result of this misunderstanding. Personal attacks or threats against staff are unacceptable and do not reflect the values of our community. We appreciate those who reached out with their concerns and hope this explanation provides clarity and reassurance. Are you reassured? I feel very reassured with my decision to homeschool my kids, not with what they're. Problem solved. Problem solved. They say that this predates the Charlie Kirk death, and it's not about them. But explain the blood stain coming from the necks, then. Explain the countless other liberals who wore the exact same Halloween costume. These people are sick. Miss me with the bovine scatology. We know exactly what you were doing. You can lie. You can spin. You can do all that. It's not gonna change anything. That was Halloween. Also over the weekend, I don't know if you saw this, but I don't watch much Major League Baseball. I happen to watch Game 7. Greatest baseball game I've ever seen in my life. Not gonna lie. Did you watch it?
I didn't, but I've been watching all the highlights on socials.
Dude, it was bananas.
Nuts.
It was bananas. My oldest son got to stay up a little bit later than usual, and we watched Game 7. My favorite part was that it wasn't there. Nobody lost because of like a huge mistake. It was just two teams executing at the highest of levels.
Yeah, both high quality game. It was wildly impressive.
I found myself in like a weird spot though. We were at a friend's house over the weekend. We went to a Halloween replacement party. We didn't do Halloween this year. We sat it out. Big kid's choice. We were fine with it. So we're sitting there and but my friend actually used to play Major League Baseball, and he has a couple guys that he knows on the team. And they said, "Who are you rooting for?" to me, and I said, "This is really tough. It's really tough. Growing up in Boston, there's every core in my being that doesn't want me to root for LA, and then Canada. So it's between a rock and a hard place. Who do you root for, Canada or Los Angeles? In the end, America won, and I think that that's a good thing. But heck of a game. Worth watching on replay if you didn't see it. Also, must-see TV over the weekend was Donald Trump on CBS. First interview since the big lawsuit that was settled out of court. And since Barry Weiss has taken over the network, President Trump sitting down with Norah O'Donnell on Sunday for the 60 Minutes interview. Again, this is the first one since they edited the Kamala Harris interview to make her seem more attractive to the American people. This is the first time since Donald Trump had sued and then settled with the network. The interview was filmed Friday at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. And according to the news site Semaphore, came just weeks after Barry Weiss took the helm of the network. Earlier this month, Semaphore was the first to report that Trump was in talks for a possible 60 Minutes interview. According to CBS, O'Donnell's conversation spanned a wide range of topics, and we have all of the highlights for you here. Before he sat down for the interview, though, he was on Air Force One. Before the interview aired, he had already done the interview, and he said he was asked about the interview. And he said that, let's see if they treated me better than Kamala Harris, which I thought was hilarious. He said that he's getting on Air Force One. He's heading back to D.C. from Florida. And he said, we're gonna try and watch it. It's going to be on immediately following the football game. It could be airing right as we're landing. We'll see how they treat me.
I'm going to try and watch 60 Minutes, but I may be delayed. Let's see if they treat me better than they treat other people. Although, I do say this, they treated Kamala very well. In fact, they changed their answers. You know what's in I will try, but we may land just as it starts, right? It's a very split second. But thank goodness for TiVo, or something thereof, right? TiVo. We love TiVo. We love TiVo. One of my favorite, one of the greatest inventions in history. And have a good time. Thank you.
I love the obligatory TiVo shout out. TiVo's just gone out of business, I believe. TiVo, like very recently, is they're done. He says, not sure if we're gonna be able to watch it, but maybe we'll catch it on TiVo, which I loved. I thought it was the most gangster response. I'm gonna watch it on TiVo, which is one of the best inventions ever. Trump does seem like a TiVo kind of guy. When he got into the interview, I watched it in real time, and I kept finding myself a bit let down. If just to say it, just for me, is it seemed like anytime Trump would answer a question, there'd be like an edit, then they'd go to a screen where they would debunk the president, then there'd be another edit, and they'd be back in the interview. And I'm like, okay, well, what's making it to the chopping room floor? The Trump administration saw this coming, and they released the entire interview unedited, which was about 90 minutes. It was only about 20 to 30 minutes, 26-ish minutes of the interview made it to air, which is criminally low considering how long the interview went. And when you splice in the amount of stopping that CBS did to then correct the president, it was like even less time. But the interview started pretty combative, pretty combative. They were discussing the government shutdown, and President Trump said, "I'm not going to be extorted by some Democrats," and this is how the whole thing really kicks off.
Make it much less expensive for people and give them much better health care.
But where is
and
that
I'd
plan?
be willing to
But
work
where's
with the
that plan?
Democrats on it. The problem is they want to give money to prisoners, to drug dealers, to all these millions of people that were allowed to come in with an open border from Biden, and nobody can do that. Not one Republican would ever do that.
My understanding is if those health care subsidies are not extended, premiums will double.
Just another clarification, which Nora O'Donnell doesn't bring to the table. The Democrats baked those expirations into the deal. That was the Democrats. They're now using it as a weapon to bludgeon the Republicans. But it was the Democrats who put that in the fine print.
For many of the people that are on it, and I was looking into it, 3/4 of these people will see their health care premiums double.
Because of
Live
Democrats.
in states where you won in the last election. I mean, even here in Florida has the highest number of residents on Obamacare in the country.
And I'm saying we can fix it, Nora.
You have helped end these government shutdowns in the past when they came about, and you did it by bringing.
I'm very good at it,
you
but I'm
brought
not going to
members of
do it by.
Congress
I'm not going to do
the
it by
White House.
extortion. I'm not going to do it by being extorted by the Democrats who have lost their way.
Yep.
There's something wrong with these people.
So then what happens on November
is a
15th when the
basket
troops
case.
don't get a paycheck?
Schumer is a basket case, and he has nothing to lose. He's become, I just left Japan, he's become a kamikaze pilot.
Sounds like it's not going to get solved, the shutdown.
It's going to get solved, yeah. Oh, it's going to get solved.
How?
We'll get it solved. Eventually, they're going to have to vote.
You're saying the Democrats will capitulate.
I think they have to. And if they don't vote, that's their problem. Now, I happen to agree with something else. I think we should do the nuclear option. This is a totally different nuclear.
We should do the nuclear option. See, this is where President Trump goes. He starts moving the conversation to removing the filibuster. The interview was wild, and we're going to bring you all the highlights today here on the show, plus a little bit more backstory than CBS wanted to bring to the table, like in that clip where she says, well, the subsidies are going to expire, sir. We have to do something. The Democrats baked that into the cake. That was Democrat. Nora O'Donnell didn't want to bring that up. Do we go with the filibuster? Do we remove it? Do we go with the nuclear option? That's what Donald Trump wants to do, and he brings it to Nora O'Donnell, and he breaks it down here. We'll bring you that audio next. First show of November. Can you believe it's already November? November 3rd. Oh, my gosh. Insane. Absolutely insane. Day 34 of the government shutdown?
Yep.
Day 34. I love the high score aspect of all of this. Go for the high score. Plus, we already saw videos over the weekend of people running out of Walmart, groceries in hand. Though part of me saw some of those videos, and I was like, is that a fake video? Like, how easy it would be to, like, pay for your groceries and then get somebody out there to film. I don't know why a family member would film you stealing from Walmart and laughing, but you never know with some of these leftists because you see the videos that they post online. It's like, you're insane. But it'd be very easy to fake these videos. But I saw some of those over the weekend, too. But the interview was 60 minutes. Can we reopen the government if we remove the filibuster? Donald Trump's thoughts on that when we return. It's 9:21. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at United Structural Systems. You know them as USS, or if the rain over the weekend got into your crawl space and basement, you know them as the guys that you should have called last week. You see, these waterproofing issues are never going to go away on their own. And if you're getting water into your basement or your crawl space, it's only going to lead to worse issues if you ignore it. We're talking about mold. We're talking about wood rot. The wood rot leads to foundation issues. Are you seeing sagging floors in your home? Cracks showing up in the drywall, doors that won't shut right. Those are red flags that there's a foundation issue. Another problem that's not going to go away on its own. What you need to do is call the company that's been doing this in Middle Tennessee since 1994, United Structural Systems, keeping Tennessee homes dry, stable, and secure the way they should be. USS uses American-made adjustable steel supports built to last and backed with a transferable warranty. That's how confident they are in their work. Even if you leave the home, the warranty can stay. So when it comes to your house, don't kick the can down the road. Call the people we trust. United Structural Systems, 615-488-7855. 615-488-7855. Or find them online, USSTN.com.
Coming up, the ground stop now lifted at BNA. It was due to fog. Also, why a THP officer is out of a job today. Those stories coming up at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand, 926, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. A lot to get to today. President Trump with a banger of an interview with 60 Minutes last night. At least what they aired was pretty good. The whole thing's great, too. The Trump administration put that out. It's all over Twitter. 90 minutes. They aired 20-ish minutes of it, and they spliced in a bunch of edits from CBS to let you know that President Trump is obviously lying. Can't trust the orange man. Can't do it. Can't do it. So they immediately go into the government shutdown. That's how things kick off. President Trump says, I'm not backing down because of extortion. And he also went on to demand that the Senate GOP get tough and nuke the filibuster. Now, this is going to be a point of a contention, I think, between John Thune and President Trump, because Thune's on the record saying that he doesn't want to do that. I think we have a window of opportunity here for success. We know that the Democrats are going to use this against us should they ever regain power anyway. So what's the issue? President Trump kind of echoing the same points.
Said today they're
I
not
know
going to do
John
that.
doesn't. Well, John and a few other. But you know what? The Republicans have to get tougher. If we end the filibuster, we can do exactly what we want. We're not going to lose power. The theory is, then we'll do it. But then when they get into power someday, they'll do it. That's true. But you know what?
So you think John
We're here right now. No, I like John Thune. I think he's terrific. But I disagree with him on this point.
He said today he wasn't going to do it.
Well, that's too bad.
I love that he's not going to go full scorched earth on John Thune. I do. It was a measured response. I don't know if first term Trump, in 2016, would have felt the exact same way, would have been as reserved. But Trump understands whether we do it or not isn't going to stop the Democrats from using it in the future should they ever regain power. And I think that's the biggest issue for me. And I get where some people come from, where they're, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. When they go low, we got to go high. And I'm like, let's beat them into submission so that way Democrats never take power again. It's kind of my stance. I don't know. I don't know why we would give them an opportunity to regroup and regain power ever. I think that's a fool's game. Mike Johnson was talking about the government shutdown over the weekend, and he says it's getting worse for Chuck Schumer by the day.
I mean, just 24 hours before that one came out, CNN, of all places, had a big story about how Republicans are winning the shutdown battle. But we reject all of this. This is not about winning a political contest here. Real people are losing. The American people are hurting. Democrats have voted 14 times now, Shannon, to keep the government closed. 14 times they had the opportunity to have SNAP benefits flow, to let air traffic controllers be paid, to take care of all these problems and pay the troops. And they said no. And it is a fact that no one can dispute that they shut the government down over restoring free health care to illegal aliens as part of their $1.5 trillion wild partisan wish list. They're playing games, and real people are suffering because of it.
But with these numbers in mind, why do you think they will be willing to come back to the table and negotiate at some point? They think that they're winning the optics of this.
Well, I don't know how they can believe they're winning if it were indeed a game to them, and I think it is, because you have all the unions now coming out against them, you have the major airlines in the country, you have every segment of the population and hardworking Americans who will be going without. You have 42 million recipients of SNAP that are in jeopardy right now. You have women, infants, and children because the nutrition program that President Trump and the White House have heroically funded thus far is running out of money. And of course the troops. I mean, we've gotten them paid now for 2 cycles, but that money is not inexhaustible, and it's running out. And so increasingly the American people will be feeling the pain, and after we pass that threshold of the 1st of this month, it gets very real for more and more people.
Yeah, and Americans are feeling the pain today. And the Democrats understood that would happen, and the Democrats said that they're going to use that as leverage. I don't see any knees bending on the conservative side. I don't necessarily see any knees bending on the liberal side either. It's going to be a tough one, but we got to hold steady. Hold the line by any means necessary. We'll talk a little bit more about the government shutdown on the way. It's not just SNAP benefits that are being hurt by this. Low-income heat assistance is also in jeopardy now thanks to the Schumer shutdown. We'll talk about that next. It's 9:30. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Well, the Federal Aviation Administration has now lifted that ground stop that it issued earlier this morning due to heavy fog. Good news for sure, but you'll still want to monitor flight status and contact your airline before heading to BNA. SNAP benefits now depleted as the government shutdown grinds on, and a federal judge ruled over the weekend that the Trump administration must load everyone's EBT cards using emergency funds. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on CNN.
Well, President Trump just truthed out that he needs to hear from the courts how this is going to be done. And Jake, as you know, the best way for SNAP benefits to get paid is for Democrats, 5 Democrats, to cross the aisle and reopen the government.
Besson contends that the funds are not legally accessible to use for SNAP benefits. A THP officer is out of a job today after being arrested over the weekend. Channel 4's Alexandria Adams.
THP tells us an officer in Putnam County found a pickup truck parked in the grass between the northbound lanes and the entrance ramp from Highway 70. Now, during that investigation, the trooper determined the driver, who was also a THP officer, was intoxicated.
That officer decommissioned and placed on administrative leave. Stocks are trading right now. The Dow Jones Industrials, it's a surprise. It had been on the plus side, down now 413. The NASDAQ, however, is up by 46. We're losing 18 on the S&P. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here to tell you about my friends at Floor Nashville, and I'm so excited to tell you about this company, Floor Nashville, founded by my friend Ricky Dar, because when you support a business with biblical values, you help keep revival alive right here in Nashville, and this is exactly what Floor Nashville is all about. So these guys have been doing it since 2006. 25 years of experience serving the city with craftsmanship and care you can count on. They bring the showroom to your home. Sample flooring in your own space. Get expert guidance from professional installers. You can get same-day in-home estimates delivered electronically the next day. From hardwood to carpet to tile, luxury vinyl, custom showers, Floor Nashville does it all. Precision installations every time. Now, beyond the beautiful floors, they take some of the money they make, and Ricky Dar gives it back through Revive the City. This is a local outreach that is bringing hope and faith to Nashville every first and third Saturday of the month. Learn more at revivenashville.net. And if you need to transform your space, do it while supporting a local Christian business that's making a difference. Do it with Floor Nashville. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, 615-613-4684, 615-613-4684, or find them online, floornashville.com. It's 9:37 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. November already. It's bananas. November 3rd. Wild. Where has this year gone? We are 2 days away from a year since the election of Donald J. Trump as 47. Crazy how fast this year's flying by.
That's a wild way to put it, too.
Isn't it?
It's like, whoa, we were all gathered for that wild, momentous day.
That was only,
a year ago.
less than a year ago.
Yeah.
We could say that for 2 more days. Less than a year ago.
Less than a year ago. It feels like it was forever ago. So much has happened.
It's been a few busy days since then. It's been a few. Currently in the midst of a government shutdown. We're going for the high score. Everything we do is at the highest levels around here now, up to and including the government shutdown. It's getting cold too.
It's a little chilly.
It's getting cold. The low temperature tonight is going to be 35.
Wow. Yeah, I went camping this weekend. We hit 38.
That's crazy.
A little chilly.
Wouldn't sign up for that. Low temperature in some Democrat-run cities. Going to be equally as low. Boston, 36. We got Detroit, 43. Philadelphia, 45. And we've heard a lot about the SNAP benefits running out. Some judge wants to make Trump use emergency funds for that. And he's like, the Democrats could just vote to open the government. We wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yep.
Also, what happens then if there's an actual emergency? These are questions that need to be answered that a liberal activist judge doesn't seem to worry about.
But as we're seeing, just being able to spend money whenever they want.
Yeah. Blank check. It's like the movie Blank Check.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they would rather have. But as temperatures begin to drop, it's not just the SNAP that we're looking at as an issue anymore. There's a lot of worries about the ability of some Americans to be able to heat their homes. Nearly 6 million households depend on the $4.1 billion low-income home energy assistance program, with some states warning funding for the program is being delayed because of the federal government shutdown now in its 5th week. Jacqueline Chapman, a retired school aide who relies on $630 monthly from Social Security to get by, presents a real-world example of someone impacted by the shutdown, on pace to be the longest in U.S. history. She told Boston's WCBB5, again, Boston's going to have a low temperature tonight of 36, that she was already dealing with the loss of her food stamp or SNAP benefits when she learned the assistance she receives for heating her home may also be at risk. Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program and aids some 42 million Americans. Those have been delayed. The federal judge of Rhode Island on Friday ordered the Trump administration to at least partially fund the program with money held in reserve. Again, explain to us how that's going to work. Explain to us why, with so many Americans that are up against the wall right now, the Democrats can't vote to open the government. I'll explain it to you. It's because they view this as a leverage point. They view the pain and suffering of Americans as political leverage. The Republicans have been voting to open the government. The Democrats will not. Mike Johnson, moments ago, was I don't know how I put this nicely. He's a bit pissed, and he went after the media and he went after the left, but really the media for allowing the Democrats to get away with their narrative and their spin.
Families who are in need. But by contrast, the Democrats have voted no every single time. And what is outrageous to us is that they have gone onto the Senate floor. Senate Democrats, they have voted no. They have voted to close the government. And then they have gone out to the hall, to the nearest camera they can find. And they have looked into the lens and said, Republicans are shutting down the government. It makes no sense. It's the most extreme example of gaslighting in the history of American politics. And many in the media have allowed them to get away with that.
It's fake news.
It's shameful. Families.
But I mean, we saw that last night on 60 Minutes with Norah O'Donnell. Sir, you could open the government. Okay. So could the Democrats. Mike Johnson goes on. He says that Chuck Schumer is actually demanding billions of dollars, not for SNAP, not for the heating assistance program, not for American citizens. No. Chuck Schumer needs billions because they need to focus on LGBTQ plus awareness in the Horn of Africa. And they need that in exchange for opening up the American government. Wait, what?
Senate record back in September, and it still sits there as their counterproposal. They would spend $1.5 trillion of your taxpayer funds. Included in that is nearly $200 billion of taxpayer funds that they want to use to restore free health benefits to illegal aliens. They want to spend billions in wasteful left-wing spending projects in foreign countries on things like LGBTQ plus awareness in the Horn of Africa, all sorts of things. I could give you a long list, and we've said it here before.
Well, I mean, are they as aware as they need to be? Okay, in the Horn of Africa about the LGBTQ plus cause? Are they? This is a fight worth fighting. What Democrats say. We gotta make sure that them Africans there in the Horn are aware. The LGBTQ plus cause. While you're going hungry, you're freezing in your own home. America last, right? It's always America last with these leftists.
They want to spend $500 million to prop up left-leaning news organizations. And shockingly, in that same proposal, as their ransom for reopening the government, they want to cut $50 billion from the rural hospital fund that the Republicans just got signed into law on July 4th. That is the bill that they filed that shut down the government. And every American can see that for themselves. So their claim about Republicans being responsible is laughable.
Laughable at best. Infuriating at worst. I mean, but if you've been keeping score at home, you already know what time it is. You understand the Democrats are gaslighting and lying and spinning. When are the voters going to wake up? Maybe they start to wake up this week as their programs are cut short and their homes are getting a bit cold. Maybe not. Maybe they continue to blame the orange man, but Mike Johnson wasn't done yet.
You go to the third one. False claim number 3, Democrats are fighting for health care. You've heard this over and over and over. Let me say something very simply about this false claim. It is the Democrats who created Obamacare. It is the Democrats who did that without any Republican votes. It's the Democrats who, by extension, have cost the American taxpayers and people who have health insurance have made their costs skyrocket. It is their policies that made that happen. And so instead of reforming it, the Democrats don't reform Obamacare. They want to subsidize it. They want to spend more taxpayer dollars. That, by the way, goes mostly to insurance companies, which makes the cost rise further. That's the Democrats' plan. When they passed Obamacare in 2010, they called it the Affordable Care Act. We know the truth is exactly the opposite. By some estimates, premiums have risen 60% in many categories since they passed that bill into law.
Now, don't forget, we could have been done with this argument if it wasn't for one John McCain in Arizona. Just a friendly reminder. Just a friendly reminder. But this is where we're at.
The fact is the opposite. Republicans are the ones fighting to save health care. Why? It's not just talking points to us. We do this. We have ideas, and we have already implemented ideas and measures to reduce costs, increase access and quality, and eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse. Now, why do we say it's not just a talking point? Why do we say the Republican Party is the only one advancing common sense reform solutions? Because we've proven it. We did that in the big, beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut. We took a look at Medicaid. And we took on that challenge. We took action to reduce fraud, waste, and abuse in Medicaid. We got able-bodied young men without dependents off the program. We got illegal aliens off the program, and we saved $185 billion just to start. We got millions of ineligible enrollees off the program, and it preserved it. It strengthened Medicaid for the people who rely upon it, which is the elderly, disabled, and young pregnant women, as we always use in an example. No, it's not about health care. That is a false claim, and everybody knows it. Everyone in America, and certainly everybody in this room, understands that this is about something else.
Yep, it's about the newcomers. It's about the primary threats. It's about a lot more than the American people. Not all Democrats are whipped up into a frenzy by Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. Not all Democrats are holding the line with the narrative and the spin that we're seeing from the left. John Fetterman over the weekend was on CNN causing issues once again for Chuck Schumer. causing issues once again for the Democrat Party by doing something as insane as, well, just telling the truth. This is the problem for the Democrats. They can't have any of that. Jake Tapper and John Fetterman told him that the Democrats own this shutdown.
Deeply distressing to know that 42 million Americans are going to lose their SNAP benefits. And now that's one of the big reasons why I refuse to shutting our government down. And again, I feel like the Democrats really need to own the shutdown.
The Democrats really need to own the shutdown. Now you know why Fetterman's probably going to get primaried as well. This isn't the first time he said it. It's certainly not going to be the last. Ted Cruz learned that the Democrats are plotting to reopen the government after Tuesday's elections because they want to juice the Democrat voter turnout. This is on Maria Bartiromo's show over the weekend. I said something similar to this last week. I said, I guarantee you this is going to last at least until the elections tomorrow because it's a good talking point. Ted Cruz echoing that over the weekend with Maria Bartiromo.
Senator, before you go, will the government open this upcoming week? This is getting seriously impacting the U.S. economy. What's your take?
I think it's likely to open Wednesday or Thursday of this week. The Democrats will wait until after Election Day because they think a shutdown is good for energizing the crazies in their party. But I think it'll be either late this week or early next week.
Late this week, early next week. Probably a safe bet. And it probably does do a bit of energizing for the crazies in the left. Make no mistake about it. I've been paying attention to some of these elections. Looks like Virginia is going to be absolutely lost. I'm not going to dance around it. It looks like Abigail Spanberger is going to win the governorship. And it looks like even Jay Jones, the Democrat attorney general who threatened to kill a Republican lawmaker and texted about wanting to see his children die in their mother's arms, he may even win. He may even win. Insane. New Jersey looks a little bit better, though. Jack Ciattarelli, he's running for governor. And it looks like his numbers are a bit more promising than what we're seeing out of Virginia. Let's keep praying that people wise up in those areas. On the way, Scott Bessent was making his rounds over the weekend, and he fired back at Democrats demanding SNAP be funded despite the shuttering of the government. He went after the judge who was saying, no, you got to pay it. You got to pay it. How? We'll bring you that when we return. It's 9:50. This is Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Cabinet Makeovers. I tell you about Dan all the time because I love the cabinets that they installed in my home. We knew we needed to make the investment in the kitchen, and my wife said, what about pull-out cabinets? And I'd never really thought about them, to be perfectly honest with you. I was like, hey, if you want them, let's go. Let's do it. Now that we have them, I don't think I could ever go back to regular cabinets again. The pull-out cabinets are amazing, and Cabinet Makeovers did a fantastic job installing them in my home. And let me tell you, I love them, and my wife loves them too. This is a family-owned company that did it for us, serving Middle Tennessee for over 45 years. Everything they do is Tennessee-made. Every cabinet they installed, every pull-out, every drawer, all wood construction, full extension, soft close glides. We love them. It really makes your kitchen special. We're not bending over, digging in the back of the cabinet for pots and pans anymore. Seeing the kids get snacks out of the pantry, so super simple, so easy. No bending, no digging. If you need to make the investment in your home, do it with Cabinet Makeovers. They don't stop at kitchens. They'll do custom closets, pantries, cabinetry for every room in your house, all built with the same Tennessee pride and biblical values that guide their business. So do what I did. Call Cabinet Makeovers today, 615-331-7010, 615-331-7010. Or find them online, cabinetmakeoverstn.com. Are Democrats waking up to the fact that 80-20 issues aren't exactly a good look to defend?
To the average person, the murder rate's about life and death. You don't brag about a rising murder rate. And the Democrats are, I agree with you, Mika, they're falling into the trap of defending what's indefensible.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yes, it's a trap. I mean, if it's not a winner politically.
I mean, I think she's right. It is a bit of a trap. to root for these 80-20 issues, men and women's sports, boys in girls' locker rooms.
No, that's not 80-20. That's 97-3.
Fair. That's 97-3. But we also have illegal alien gang member, MS-13 members, Kilmar. Democrats defend him. We've seen Democrats rooting for a recession. All these 80-20 issues, and this is what made the Democrats realize it? How long until they forget again? A few hours, tops.
I'm Pastor Alan Jackson, and I'm excited to invite you to join me for my brand new show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Every Sunday night from 7 to 8, I'll be talking about the week's news and headlines, but through a biblical lens. Together, we'll look at what's happening in our world and how God's Word can guide us through it. Join me, Pastor Alan Jackson, Sunday evenings at 7 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And you can listen on iHeartRadio and tune in.
So this dude's dog wanders into the shot. And who is this guy?
So this is Hassan Piker. He's a left-wing streamer. He's very radical, Muslim, friends with Mamdani, big Mamdani supporter. And, this is just an insight to the kind of people they truly are at home. And he's on his live stream.
Yeah.
And as you said, his dog gets in the shot, won't sit down, which I understand. But at the same time, this dog is not getting in his way or anything. He is simply just circling, or as my wife would call it, nesting, trying to find that comfy spot.
Yeah.
So he shocks him.
Much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just go, just stop.
Kind of ironic this guy is
Oh,
talking
my
about
gosh.
violence.
Yeah, right.
While he shocks his dog. His dog's literally not even doing anything. He's just, as you said, he's circling in the background.
Yeah.
Tempers boiling over now as the government shutdown enters day 34, and why protesters were staking out an ICE detention facility in western Tennessee over the weekend. Those stories here at 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, tune in. You can watch us. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble. Search for Super Talk 99.7 and hit like and hit subscribe. We appreciate you doing so. So Trump and his administration, they have a deadline today to tell a judge if they will fully fund SNAP. President Trump's administration faces a Monday deadline to tell two federal judges whether it will use emergency reserves to fully fund SNAP, the nation's biggest food aid program during the government shutdown. The U.S. Department of Agriculture planned to freeze payments for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program starting November 1st because it said it could no longer keep funding it due to the shutdown. The program serves 1 in 8 Americans and is a major piece of the nation's social safety net. Costs about $8 billion per month nationally. It's a little infuriating, especially when you go on Amazon. You see sugar-free Red Bull. That counts for SNAP. You go on Amazon, you see whey protein. You can bulk up on SNAP. That's a little infuriating. No gains if you're on SNAP. Sorry. No gains allowed. On Friday, judges in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, super conservative states, in case you're keeping score at home, super conservative, ruled separately that the administration must continue to pay for SNAP. They both gave the administration leeway on whether to fund the program partially or in full for November. Trump said on social media Friday that he does not want Americans to go hungry just because the radical Democrats refused to do the right thing and reopen the government. Over the weekend, Scott Bessent was on CNN addressing this same topic.
President Trump just truthed out that he needs to hear from the courts how this is going to be done. And Jake, as you know, the best way for SNAP benefits to get paid is for five Democrats to cross the aisle and reopen the government.
That would end it right now. Like that could end it. They could do it right now. Will they, though? No. No, of course not. They're going to lean on their radical leftist judges. Scott Bessent isn't here to play games.
Right, but there is this contingency fund, and as recently as September 30th, the Agricultural Department had a memo saying that these funds, the contingency funds, I think it's about $5 or $6 billion, could be used to pay these benefits. Now, it would only be 2 or 3 weeks, but that's a lot for people who need the food.
Well, President Trump just, as I said, President Trump just truthed out that he's very anxious to get this done, and it's got to go through the courts. The courts keep jamming up things. Democrats are in the middle of a civil war, and they should just open the government. That is the easiest way to do this.
That's the easiest way to do this. The other thing you said, the Democrats are in a civil war. It's an interesting take. You've heard the rumblings that there are quite a few Democrats that don't want to continue this government shutdown BS. But Democrats do a good job of sticking together. I guess that's what you could call it. They're sticking together. They're holding strong. Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries don't want to be primaried. How long will it go? Tomorrow's the big election day. Ted Cruz says after that, we're looking at later this week, the government could be reopened. In the meantime, Caroline Leavitt is unleashing on Chuck Schumer. President Trump is urging the Senate Republicans to terminate the filibuster. And Secretary Duffy is exposing just how vile Chuck Schumer is by keeping the government closed. We'll address all this and more on the way. Hang out with us. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Want to let you know, drivers, that in Joelton on 24, the westbound side, just past Whites Creek Pike, you've got an overturned semi, and the right lane is blocked by that. That's also involving a big diesel spill as well. That may be there for a while in cleanup. It is day 34 of the federal government shutdown, now on the brink of becoming the longest ever. And just moments ago, House Speaker Mike Johnson flashing anger while addressing the press.
House member after House member, from the leadership ranks all the way down to rank and file on the Democrat side, they have admitted openly they're using the American people as leverage in this political game. They're motivated out of fear. They want to show a fight to the radical left so they don't lose their political seats, and they're willing to make the American people suffer for it. That is the fact.
Another vote on the continuing resolution to reopen the government comes at 4:30 this afternoon. A firefighter injured early Saturday morning while battling a fire at a Franklin car dealership. News 2 says that fire started at the Rivian dealership and service center on 5th Avenue North.
4 electric vehicles were on fire outside a dealership, with flames reaching a service bay. They contained the flames but stayed over 4 hours to monitor vehicles' battery packs. The cause is under investigation. Preliminary information suggests one of the vehicles was connected to a charger.
Yes, and that plugged-in car may have been in Mason, Tennessee, in Tipton County yesterday. They were there in support of the illegal aliens who are being detained in the new ICE facility that's run there by CoreCivic. And they repeated some false claims.
A lot of them have been arrested and detained without due process. And we want them and their families to know that they are not forgotten, that there are people out here who are still fighting for them on the outside.
And this comes as the Memphis Safe Task Force announces more than 300 immigration-related arrests in October. In London over the weekend, a 32-year-old man accused of going on a stabbing attack while on a train. ABC's Marcus Moore on how that attack was stopped.
Train's operator
making an emergency stop. Authorities say that man injured 11 people 2 hours north of London, and 6 people remain in the hospital, and one of them is in critical condition. He's been identified as a worker on that train who tried to stop the alleged attacker. Authorities said the employee's actions, quote, were nothing short of heroic, and that he undoubtedly saved lives.
Now, the UK says this is not an act of terror. They say that 32-year-old Anthony Williams acted alone. That is the latest news. We've got your weather just ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Why am I so happy and so excited that Jimmy Kimmel lied to his audience?
He had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points.
I'm excited because the liberal and the legacy media have been lying about Republicans for years, and people like this are finally taking notice.
I didn't think much of the death because from what I had heard, Charlie Kirk had been a neo-Nazi who wanted me to be dead. He didn't support my existence and whatnot. And now I'm kind of sitting here thinking, and I'm like, I feel like I had been lied to. I really took some time after the thing happened to kind of look into his videos, look into his beliefs, look into his thoughts and who he was as a person. And to me, he seemed like a well-mannered family man. He believed in the country. He believed in the greater good of the country. He had his own political beliefs and opinions. And sure, there's a lot of things that I don't agree with him on, but I never would stand for him dying or being murdered because of his beliefs. And I think I may be starting to lean a lot farther right in response to everything that's taken place.
It's 10:05 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by my friends at Better Water LLC. If you need a water filtration system, you know where to get it, betterwater.com. Why would you need it?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
That's a heck of a reason, betterwater.com.
It's a pretty good reason.
It's definitely a reason.
Makes sense.
Atrazine. Google it. It's a real thing. We don't just make stuff up. We don't.
Only the truth here.
We laugh at it, though. We laugh at it as best we can. Still in the government shutdown. Day 34? Day 34.
Yes, sir.
Tres Cuatro. Let's go. We're going for the high score, baby. I'm excited. We do everything in the Trump administration, we do it to the highest level. And I'm excited. They're probably going to open it up after these elections, right?
Yeah, probably.
As soon as they can stop using it as a political tool, they'll stop using it as a political tool.
It's like, oh, this is useless now. Toss it to the side.
Oh, all right. It does look like they're going to, my friend Aaron just sent me this leading report. Breaking, Democrats set to flip governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general races in Virginia per state Navigate forecast. So Virginia's a weird state, man.
It's such a flip-floppy.
And Youngkin's done a good job. Youngkin, like, for all intents and purposes, he hasn't been like a radical MAGA extremist. You know, he's been kind of like a middle of the road. He's been like Lee. He's been like Governor Lee, which we don't necessarily hang our hat on here. But in a state like Virginia, it's not like
kind of needed.
Yeah, he's not a crazy conservative guy.
Yeah.
And I think you can make the argument that if this flips, right, if Virginia flips after Youngkin doing a decent job, it puts a lot more weight in the suburbs. That's where you need to be attacking, is the suburbs. It's insane. They swing so hard. So we'll see what happens in Virginia. I'm going to still pray for a victory. I don't think anybody thought Youngkin was going to win either, just to be fair. So we'll see what happens. But they got a lot of data that's saying it doesn't look good in Virginia. That being said, after these elections, hopefully we can get the government back opened. President Trump doesn't want to wait. He said on 60 Minutes, maybe we just get rid of the filibuster.
John and a few other, but you know what? The Republicans have to get tougher. If we end the filibuster, we can do exactly what we want. We're not going to lose power. The theory is, then we'll do it. But then when they get into power someday, they'll do it. That's true. But you know what?
So you think John
We're here right now. No, I like John Thune. I think he's terrific. But I disagree with him on this point.
Trump wouldn't take the bait on trashing John Thune. I think 2016, Trump might have taken the bait and trashed John Thune. But this guy, no, very measured. His response was appropriate. I like John Thune. We just disagree here. Caroline Leavitt was also on the weekend shows. She went on Maria Bartiromo's show, also pushing to nuke the filibuster.
Let's talk about what we are dealing with here. Radical left Democrats who have shut our government down and held the American people hostage for 32 days in a row. We have air traffic controller shortages all over this country. Half of our nation's major airports are suffering from severe delays as we head into the busiest travel months of the season. We have 500,000 federal workers who are going unpaid. SNAP benefits have expired only because of President Trump finding a legal maneuver are our troops continuing to be getting paid. If it were up to the Democrats, our military and our law enforcement would not be receiving their paychecks like the rest of the federal government workforce. And Democrats are not showing any sign of wanting to reopen the government. They want to give taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal aliens.
Yep.
These are crazed people that President Trump and Republicans are having to deal with, and that's why President Trump has said Republicans need to get tough, they need to get smart, and they need to use this option to get rid of the filibuster, to reopen the government and do right by the American public. We know, Maria, based on the polling and based on common sense, that the vast majority of this country wants the government reopened. That's what President Trump is willing to do. That's what he wants, and he's willing to use any lever to make it happen.
But Carolyn, when the Democrats regain power, then they won't have to deal with. Okay, so my question would be, what's going to stop them from nuking the filibuster if they regain power anyway? Do you think that the Democrats wouldn't go that route? Wouldn't go that hard to pack the Supreme Court, to make D.C. and Puerto Rico states? Do you think that they wouldn't? They would get into power and they'd say, oh, well, you know, the Republicans didn't do it, so we shouldn't do it either. Do you think that they're going to be that kind, that patient, that caring? No. They're going to laugh. They're going to say the Republicans didn't do everything that they thought was possible, but we're not going to make the same mistake. The Democrats will ensure, if they ever get back into power, that they never lose power again, which is what they were planning to do if Kamala Harris won the presidency. Make no mistake about it. Packing the Supreme Court was on the menu. D.C., Puerto Rico estates, that was on the menu, boys. But we won. By the grace of God. 7 swing states. The popular vote, the Electoral College vote. We won with a mandate. And now we have an opportunity to make sure that the Democrats never regain power again. But we're going to tie our own hands. We're going to slow ourselves down. Not a fan. Not a fan. I think we need to beat them into submission. We need to do everything in our power to make sure that they never get a sniff of power again. President Trump has been touting this all weekend long. All weekend long. On Truth Social, Trump over and over again. Remember, Republicans, Regardless of the Schumer shutdown, the Democrats will terminate the filibuster the first chance they get. They will pack the Supreme Court, pick up 2 states, and add at least 8 electoral votes. Their 2 objectors are gone. Don't be weak and stupid. He's talking about Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. That's the only reason they didn't do it last time. You remember that, right? Keep a long memory. Write it down if you need to. The only reason they didn't do it last time was Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. Guess who they don't have holding them back should they ever regain power? Oh, but they'll be nice to us because we played by the book. You think so? You think so? I don't. Trump continues on True Social. Don't be weak and stupid. Fight, 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 win, win, win. We will immediately end the extortionist shutdown, get all of our agenda passed, and make life so good for the Americans that these deranged Democrat politicians will never again have the chance to destroy America. Republicans, you will rue the day that you didn't terminate the filibuster. Be tough, be smart, and win. This is much bigger than the shutdown. This is the survival of our country. I agree with Trump. You don't... After everything you've seen the Democrats do, after everything you've witnessed, you think that if we leave the filibuster in place and we don't nuke it, the Democrats will be so kind to honor us in the same way? Yeah. I have oceanfront property for you in Arizona. Heck of a bridge in San Francisco that I can sell you. It's a great deal. DM me at Chris Hand on Air. I'll get you hooked up. I will. Trump doubled down over the weekend on True Social as well. Terminate the filibuster, not just for the shutdown, but for everything else. We will get all of our common sense policies approved. Voter ID, anyone? And make America great again. Remember, the Democrats will do it immediately as soon as they get the chance. Our doing it will not give them the chance. Republicans, be tough and smart. The Dems are crazed lunatics. They will not open our country no matter how many people are irreparably harmed. Would you do it for voter ID? Would you nuke the filibuster to ensure voter ID? 615-737-9996. Can the Democrats come back to power if we have nationwide voter ID? Serious question. Serious question. Do you think that the Democrats are going to be so responsible, so kind, so gracious that if they regain power that they're not going to do this? Again, I don't see it. I don't see it. The year is 2025, my friends. We have to win at all costs. I got kids I'm worried about, and I want them to grow up in a country that resembles the one I grew up in, and grandkids as well. And I'm sure you're in the same boat. Say, well, we can't do that. We can't. It's never been done. And if we do it, well, then the Democrats are going to do it regardless. The Democrats aren't slowing down. They spied on Trump coming in. We've seen the revelations from Arctic Frost. They spied on everybody. They went on fishing expeditions for everyone. They censored us. They told us that we couldn't work without experimental gene therapy. They shut us down on social media. And we're going to think now that if we don't nuke the filibuster, then the Democrats are going to return the same favor? Is that what we're supposed to think? No, we have to be ruthless. We have to fight. Like, I know it seems cliche, but it's the reality of the situation we're in. We cannot show any weakness. We have to be political animals and get out there and do what needs to be done. Bobby in Nash Vegas, your thoughts? Bobby always says Nash Vegas, by the way, and
that's right, brother. That's right. Hey, man, what are we going to do, man? These Republicans, they don't ever stick together. They're always crying for our vote when election time comes. But once they get in there, you know yourself, every time it's the same old. So what are we supposed to do, brother? I want your input.
I mean, I just think we need to be as ruthless as possible, and that goes up to and including nuking the filibuster. Use every tool at our disposal. Because right now we see the Democrats using American pain as leverage. Like, this is how vile and evil they are. We saw them over the weekend, all dressing up like Charlie Kirk. These are the people that they're trying to impress. Like, no, I don't have any issues going as hard as humanly possible. We're seeing what they're doing in real time. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy exposed just how vile Chuck Schumer is by shutting down the government. This was over the weekend, CNBC.
Well, what is leverage? Their leverage is to hurt the American people, right? They're willing to hurt air travelers, whether they're going to a funeral, they're going to see family members. Pretty soon we're going to have kids coming home from college for Thanksgiving break. They're willing to endanger poor people who can't get food stamps. They're willing to risk subsidies in regard to health insurance. They don't care who they hurt. They care about power. By the way, we had an election a little less than a year ago, and Donald Trump crushed it. He won the popular vote. He won the 7 swing states. Democrats lost. And so if you want to pass legislation, you can introduce it, you can debate it, but government shutdowns trying to garner leverage is not the way that you do it. Debate it, vote on it, and then come back and try to win elections. But they lost. Donald Trump won. And to now say that you are going to hurt the American people so Donald Trump has to talk to you, that's not the way you do business. The Trump administration and Republicans are not going to be held hostage by these kind of asinine tactics by Democrats.
And that's what it's turned into. It's turned into extortion. It's turned into hostage holding. And currently, the only people being hurt by it are the American people. It's not just SNAP benefits, like Secretary Duffy was talking about, air traffic controllers. I mean, these guys are going out and getting second jobs right now, showing up to work, being unpaid, military members. I mean, we can go down the line. We all understand what time it is, and we understand the Democrats don't give a damn. Because it's leverage, guys. It's a game of leverage. And the Democrats are fine hurting the American people if it means that they can win. We've seen it over and over and over. It's wild. The Republicans were given, they had a big speech this morning. We played some of the Mike Johnson audio. Tom Emmer went after Chuck Schumer for catering to Zohran Mamdani and Omar Fateh over millions of hungry Americans. He's saying, you're bending the knee for the far left of your party. This guy Fateh, who's running for mayor in Minneapolis, and Zohran Mamdani, he's going to be the mayor of New York City. You're bending the knee to these socialists and these communists while you're letting millions of Americans go hungry.
They've shut the government down to pick a fight with President Trump and to score points with Kami Mandami and Omar Fata, the Omar Fata wing of their party. The Democrats have become kamikaze politicians who are so focused on winning some kind of political game that they've justified blowing up everything in their wake, including the livelihoods of their own constituents.
Yep.
Democrat Senator John Fetterman said it best on CNN yesterday. Quote, "We are hurting the very people that we fight for, and now we're getting nothing for them if we continue to keep our government shut down." Quote, "This is wrong," he went on to say, and he's exactly right.
But maybe it'll be done by the end of this week once they don't have elections to worry about, because the Democrats only care about one thing and one thing only. That's power. 1021. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here to tell you about a group that I'm super excited to partner with, All Pro Dad. This group is amazing. All Pro Dad has been helping fathers lead and love their families for nearly 30 years. Founded by Coach Tony Dungy and Mark Merrill, their mission is to equip men with the most important job of all, being a dad. And here's how it works. They ask you to spend a minute a day with their Play of the Day emails, an hour a week listening to a short podcast on fatherhood, and an hour a month through school chapters connecting dads with their kids, plus 1 day a year at an All-Pro Dad experience. That's this event that we're throwing on Friday, November 7th at Nissan Stadium. This is going to be a cool night. Then we're going to be there. I'm going to be there with my kids, my wife, and we want you there as well. Packed with interactive games, life lessons, and quality time with the kids. There's over 1,700 chapters worldwide, 80 chapters right here in Tennessee, and it's all with the mission of helping fathers raise strong, confident families. If this is something that you want to get in on, we got free tickets for you for the All-Pro Dad experience. You can come play some games with us on Nissan Stadium's field. It's going to be a blast. Caller 9 right now is going to win those free tickets, a family pass of tickets, 615-737-9986. And if you want to go and you don't win the tickets, they're super cheap. $35 for the whole family. Friday, November 7th, Nissan Stadium. Give your kids a day that they'll never forget. allprodad.com.
A child walking to school in Nashville hit by a car. Also, where residents are being warned they'll be blasting in their neighborhood. That and more at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We just gave away some tickets to the All-Pro Dad experience happening at Nissan Stadium Friday night. It's gonna be a cool event. Shout out to my boy Jim. Him and the fam are going.
Yeah, I'm excited for them out in Murfreesboro with you as well.
Oh, let's go, Jim in the Burrow. It's gonna be a fun night, man. We're excited because we're just gonna be doing some drills on the Titans field.
Dude, that'll be cool.
I told my boys, I said, yeah, you never know with the way the Titans season's going. There might be some scouts in the audience. They're
picking up any good talent they can find.
Might, you might get a walk-on role.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I do want to say though, if you missed the ticket giveaway at this hour, we're giving away more at 11:20. If you're listening,
we got more tickets, more giveaways on the way, and it should be a fun night. We're actually really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be hype. I'm excited for you guys.
It's gonna be gangster. President Trump had a gangster interview with 60 Minutes.
Ooh, nice.
You like that? It's I'm the radio segue king.
Kind of pretty good at it.
I'm the most humble too. There's a couple things I'm good at. There's a couple things I'm good at. I'm the segue king, and I'm the most humble host.
Anecdotally, the most humble host on the Chris.
Easily, we had an award, and I won. I won. Nobody was as humble as me, and I nailed it. Easily.
Spot on.
Nobody does it better.
So good.
So, President Trump, during his interview, also one of the most humble. Nora O'Donnell was going after him. She was doing her best. And she said, you're going after your political opponents. We're seeing it. James Comey, seashell aficionado. John Bolton, mustache comb aficionado. Letitia James, mortgage fraud aficionado. He's going after all the aficionados. And he said, what? What are you talking about? You know who went after their political opponent? The Democrats.
James Comey, John Bolton, Letitia James were all recently indicted. There's a pattern to these names. They're all public figures who have publicly denounced you. Is it political retribution?
You know what? You know who got indicted? The man you're looking at. I got indicted, and I was innocent. And here I am because I was able to beat all of the nonsense that was thrown at me. And yet, when you go after a dirty cop like Comey, or a guy like Bolton, who I hear I don't know anything about it. I hear he took records all over the place. Who knows?
Yeah, he actually was sending them to his wife and his daughter, saying, this is going to be good for my book. This classified document right here that I'm sending you from my AOL email account. John Bolton is exactly the type of guy that I would expect to still have an AOL email account, just for the record. Let the record show that that's actually on brand for a guy like John Bolton. But, you're sending all sorts of classified info.
Letitia James is a terrible, dishonest person, in my opinion.
Did you instruct the Department of Justice to go after them?
Not in any way, shape, or form. No, you don't have to instruct them because they were so dirty, they were so crooked, they were so corrupt that the honest people we have, Pam Bondi's doing a very good job.
Did you instruct them, sir? No, actually, they got in and they just looked around. They went, oh, crap. Did you see this? Yep. That's how it went down. That's how it went down. During this interview, they also asked Donald Trump about, Trump fired back. He's constantly called Hitler. He's constantly called a Nazi by those on the left. He wasn't taking it sitting down. We'll bring you those highlights. Plus, talking about nuclear weapons testing. Nora O'Donnell of CBS tried to fact-check the president in real time. And CBS and 60 Minutes did. Trump shut them down. I'll bring you those highlights when we get back. 10:30, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. And a child was hit by a vehicle near McMurray Middle School this morning. This happened about 8 o'clock at the intersection of Tusculum Road and Hasty Drive. Police are saying a silver SUV struck the child who had been walking to school. Now, the child was taken to a hospital and is expected to be okay. No charges are expected to be filed here, police telling WSMV4 the incident appears to be accidental. A federal judge now extending her order blocking the Trump administration from sending National Guard troops into Portland, Oregon.
The new preliminary injunction prohibits the deployment of troops into Portland through at least Friday. It follows a 3-day trial from last week, with U.S. District Judge Karen Immerget writing that no credible evidence was revealed in testimony that protests in the city grew out of control. She adds that the Trump administration likely infringed on the state sovereignty of Oregon. It comes after the same judge blocked National Guard troops from Oregon, then California and Texas from deploying to the city. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Here in Nashville, folks living in Laverne may hear some blasting starting today. Here's News 2's Tori Gessner.
Blasting will begin in the Woodland Hills subdivision near the interstate. This work is expected to last several weeks as a part of ongoing construction in that area.
But officials aren't saying what construction project this blasting is connected to. There's an emergency drill taking place in Hickman County today, so officials there say don't be alarmed when you see emergency equipment.
It's happening over at the Life Care Center of Centerville. The drills are a part of the staff's training so that they're better prepared in those emergencies.
That's Channel 4's Alexandria Adams. That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
All right, so anyway, Canada.
In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands. But don't engage unless absolutely necessary.
Is that so? Don't take matters into your own hands? Bro, they're in my living room.
We urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones safe until police arrive, and be the best witness possible.
Oh, be the best witness possible as your wife is being beaten by home invaders. You're being tied up. Just call Lee, chip in, and be a great witness. You know, Superman, and then, you got Bizarro. In Florida, they're like, we're going to shoot you stone cold dead. This is Bizarro, Florida. Is that what Ontario is?
It's close enough.
1037 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Hey, how are you? Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeartRadio, tune in the FM dial. You can watch us. Super Talk TV is up and running on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe. Any of the digital platforms that you're listening on have a share button, and we ask that you hit that share button and help us grow the digital footprint of the radio station. It helps all the shows, not just mine. If you don't like mine, help out Murphy or Mandis or Benson and hit share anyway. You could even hit the dislike button on my show if you want to. That's fine. But if you're going to do the dislike button, just make sure you mean it. Make sure you mean it. We got a lot to get to today, and we're excited to have you here. We've been going through some of this audio from President Trump in his 60 Minutes interview. He's not exactly happy that people call him a Nazi all the time. All the time. Orange man bad. He's Hitler. He is a tyrant. He's a king. He's not exactly thrilled, but he's going to keep going. It's not going to slow him down. He addressed it last night during the 60 Minutes interview.
I think it's a lot of the rhetoric. Look, they call me a Nazi all the time. I'm not a Nazi. I'm the opposite. I'm somebody that's saving our country. But they call me Nazi. They have talking points, They have just talking points. And the press is largely responsible for it. The fake news, what they've done, I think one of the greatest terms I've ever come up with is fake news. What they've done to our country is very bad. They have to change around. Now, nobody believes the fake news. Nobody believes them. I mean, they've gone, you talk about popularity, you talk about approval. Their approval numbers have gone from like in the 90s to in the teens now.
One of my favorite things is he kind of lays out, like, yeah, they call me these things because of you guys. They call me these things because of the way you spin the story, the way the media portrays Donald Trump. That's part of the reason. You get the gaslighting from the media, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS. You understand. You know the drill. You've seen it all. But he lays that all out. He says it's really because of you guys partially. It's not even just the Democrats. It's the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. It's the mainstream media. Norah O'Donnell just sits there and nods. Oh, wow, I didn't know. Wow. It's like the Ruth Bader Ginsburg meme. Wow, you're telling me this for the first time. I had no idea. And then she goes and does what the fake news does. The topic turns to the nuclear weapons testing, which was a big topic of conversation last week. We remember the reporter interrupting the sit-down face-to-face between Xi Jinping and Donald Trump. And the reporter goes, Sir, why are you testing nuclear weapons? And it's like we're across the table from a main adversary who is also testing nuclear weapons, who is building up their arsenal. And in about 5-year time, they're saying that they're going to be on the equal footing of America when it comes to nuclear arsenal. And so Trump says, the fake news, you guys cause a lot of this hate towards me. The topic goes to the nuclear testing, and then Norah O'Donnell does what fake news does. She tries to fact check the president in real time. CBS actually cut away from this clip to air a fact check in real time. But I'm just like, where do you get off fact checking the president on this? Listen to the clip, and then we'll discuss and we'll talk about it.
Testing is because Russia announced that they were going to be doing a test. If you notice, North Korea is testing constantly. Other countries are testing. We're the only country that doesn't test, and I don't want to be the only country that doesn't test.
Are you saying that after more than 30 years, the United States is going to start detonating nuclear weapons for
I'm
testing?
saying that we're going to test nuclear weapons like other countries do, yes.
But the only country that's testing nuclear weapons is North Korea.
Well,
China and Russia.
No, Russia's testing nuclear weapons.
My understanding...
And China's testing them too, you just don't know about it.
That would be certainly very newsworthy. My understanding is what Russia did recently was test essentially the delivery systems for nuclear weapons, essentially missiles, which we can do that, but not with nuclear weapons.
Russia's testing and China's testing, but they don't talk about it. We're a open society. We're different. We talk about it. We have to talk about it because otherwise you people are going to report. They don't have reporters that are going to be writing about it. We do.
Then it goes to a screen where they fact, at this time, CBS News only determined that North Korea is testing nuclear weapons. It's like, you wonder why he calls the mainstream media the enemy of the people. He drops a gem in Norah O'Donnell's lap. There's no follow-up. There's only rebuttal. Can you expand on that, sir? How are they? Are they testing the delivery systems? Are they testing the actual warheads? Tell us more. But there's no conversation back and forth. There's only rebuttal. Well, you're wrong, Mr. President. Here's why. Who do you think has access to better information, Norah O'Donnell or the President of the United States? Oh, yeah. It's got to be 60 Minutes. They have a team. They have a team dedicated to this kind of stuff. They're doing a bang-up job. It drives me nuts. When this happened in real time, I'm watching this interview, and then they cut away to a screen to say, CBS News can only confirm that North Korea has tested nuclear weapons. The guy is saying to you on face to face, their reporters aren't covering it because they don't have a free press the way we do. I'm telling you that they're testing nuclear weapons. Who are we going to trust? The intelligence services of the United States of America, the sitting president of the United States, or the intelligence services of 60 Minutes and Norah O'Donnell? Again, no follow-up questions, just rebuttals from 60 Minutes. They're doing a bang-up job. It's a shock to me why mainstream media's credibility is in the toilet these days. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. Moving on. The topic shifts to Maduro and Venezuela. Are his days numbered? The president is asked by Norah O'Donnell. And the president says, well, yeah, probably. I would say yeah. This is President Trump on Venezuela.
Think of this, 0 people coming into our country through our southern border.
On Venezuela in particular, are Maduro's days as president numbered?
I would say, yeah. I think so, yeah.
And this issue of potential land strikes in Venezuela, is that true?
I don't tell you that. I mean, I'm not saying it's true or untrue, but I wouldn't.
Why would we do it?
I wouldn't be inclined to say that I would do that, but because I don't talk to a reporter about whether or not I'm going to strike.
She doesn't know what to say. I love the vibe. I love the energy. And yes, do you think the president is going to tell you top secret plans? Do you think that that's what's going to happen here? Is that what you think? He said something similar on Air Force One. This is as he was going back from Florida to D.C. on Sunday. And another reporter asked him about Venezuela. Sir, are you planning on striking Venezuela? Are you going to do land strikes? And he's like, why? Why would I answer that to you? Why would I spill all of these military secrets?
How can I answer a question like that? Are there plans for a strike on Venezuela? Who would say that? Supposing there were, would I say that to you?
Supposing there were.
Very secret plans. Who would say that? What kind of a question is it? Look.
Yes, there are very secret plans. There are very secret plans. Let me fill you in. He said, who would say that? What kind of a question is that? These people. The president was combative and unwilling to answer questions. That's how they'll frame it. We do know that the U.S. military got another boat over the weekend. It must have been fishermen. It had to be. It was either the leading theories are that we blew up the boat for the fish, or we blew up the boat for the oil. It has nothing to do with narco-terrorists, right? Nothing. The U.S. military conducted another lethal strike on a boat piloted by alleged drug smugglers in the Caribbean Sea. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth revealed on Saturday, Breitbart has the story, posting on X with what appeared to be a nighttime explosion of the vessel. Hegseth said the boat was operated by a U.S.-designated terrorist organization. He did not name which terrorist organization it was. And we have the video from Secretary of War Hegseth, which I'm going to put on the screen right now in case you're watching on Supertalk TV. It's dead of night, and you see what looks like a boat moving, and then you're going to see a huge explosion. It's like pitch black. Everything except for the explosion lights up, with Hegseth saying today, at the direction of the president, the Department of War carried out a lethal kinetic strike on another narco-trafficking vessel operated by a DTO, designated terrorist organization in the Caribbean. This vessel, like every other, was known by our intelligence to be involved in the illicit narcotics smuggling, was transiting along a known narco-trafficking route and carrying narcotics. 3 male narco-terrorists were aboard the vessel during the strike, which was conducted in international waters. All 3 terrorists were killed, and no U.S. forces were harmed in the strike. These narco-terrorists are bringing drugs to our shores to poison Americans at home, and they will not succeed. The department will treat them exactly how we treated al-Qaeda. We will continue to track them, map them, hunt them, and kill them. Thank you. I'm here for it. I'm not upset about it at all. Some people are getting upset about this. This is the kind of war that I can get behind. I don't know. I mean, we want the flow of drugs to stop. How about we put the fear of God into these individuals? Let's keep going. Let's get the ones that are here out. And let's get the ones that are coming to think twice at the very least. People are upset. People are upset. Back to the CBS interview. Nora O'Donnell wanted to know when we can declare mission accomplished on immigration. The way she framed the question, when will you declare mission accomplished? She's like, what do you want him on an aircraft carrier with a banner behind him? Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished will be when every illegal alien has been removed from the interior of the United States. Every single one. When we meant mass deportations, we meant every single one. Up to and including your tia and abuela. I'm sorry. It's the fairest way to go about it. We can't pick and choose. We can't do it on a case-by-case basis. It has to be all of them. The plan was worst first. That plan has had a monkey wrench thrown into it because of Democrat governors, Democrat mayors won't allow ICE into their jails to get the gangbangers, the murderers, the terrorists, the rapists, the child rapists off the street. We got to go find them now. And that's fine. If they want us to go find them, we will oblige them. And we've been doing so. Chicago, Los Angeles. I mean, you've seen it. The numbers have been great. Not where we want them to be, but a good start. When will mission accomplished be what we put on a banner behind you on an aircraft carrier, sir?
When will you declare mission accomplished on immigration?
Well, it takes a long time because, probably I say 25 million people were let into our country. A lot of people say it was 10 million people, but whether it was 10 or I believe I'm much closer to the right number. Of the 25, many of them should not be here. But we're cleaning up our cities. I campaigned on crime, but I've done a much better job on crime than I thought. The crime numbers are way down, even though we have a lot more people in our country that really shouldn't be here, and many of them are stone cold, hard criminals.
We got to get them all out. The president says the number he thinks is closer to 25. I bet you he's a lot closer to the accurate number than what the mainstream media wants to sell or tell. Tom Homan was also on some of the news channels over the weekend. This was on Fox News. Tom Homan said that they're bringing on 10,000 new agents to round up and keep those deportation numbers increasing.
We got to look for that 10.5 million illegal aliens that came across that border. We got to look, that's in addition to 15 million already here. So now the roles change. Now Border Patrol is backstopping ICE on the interior. It's working. Record numbers of removals, arrests. Right now we already have a record number, historic number of arrests and removals this fiscal year. And we'd bring on 10,000 more agents by mid-January. And we're going to blow this historic number out of the water next year. So everything's working good. It's still under the leadership of acting director Todd Lyons, under the leadership of Secretary Noem. The results speak for themselves. The agents out there doing what President Trump promised he'd do is make his country safe again.
10,000 new agents being added to the ranks. Huge fan. Huge fan. We got to get these numbers up. Tom Homan also had a message to Democrat officials because the assaults on ICE agents are increasing at such a rapid scale. We'll bring you that message to Democrat officials, the governors, the mayors, and more from Tom Homan when we return. It's 10:51. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It's a new month. We're in November, so we got new deals for you. And right now, Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is serving up big savings and big gratitude. If you got a clogged drain, don't wait. You can get a $93 or free mainline opening special. That's right, only $93. The offer is valid for single-family homes only, and they're also going to be honoring our heroes all month long. One veteran is going to win a 50-gallon water heater with expansion tank and installation. Just send a photo in uniform to enter. That's it. The winner is going to be announced on Veterans Day, November 11th. If you're feeling festive, submit your favorite Thanksgiving recipe, and you can win $2,000 off. A new HVAC install. Runner-up gets $1,000. The winners are going to be announced on Facebook Live on November 21st. Remember, if you got a clogged drain, don't wait. Get the $93 or free mainline operating special. That's right, only $93. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. Or find them online, busybhvac.com.
Growing concerns about air travel with the government shutdown, and hurry up and wait. The takeaway from the latest study on traffic. These stories and more coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom, 10:56. I'm Chris Hand. Mason Fleming is producing. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We were talking about Tom Homan. He was on Fox News over the weekend. He's not exactly impressed with the way the Democrats are ratcheting up the tension against ICE agents. Maybe you've heard. Maybe you've been living under a rock. But they've been calling these ICE agents, Border Patrol agents, Nazi, the Gestapo, the SS, you name it. You name it. And Tom Homan had a message for those Democrat officials who are pushing that kind of rhetoric that are putting our valuable law enforcement officers' lives in danger.
Bless the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol. I wore that uniform. Border Patrol, I was an ICE agent, and these men and women are putting it on the line every day for this nation. They're still being vilified, and I'll say it again. I think the reason those assaults are up so high is because of vilification and the negative rhetoric we hear from members of Congress, from governors and mayors who simply don't want immigration law enforced, so they attack the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol as Nazis and racists.
Yep.
They're enforcing laws that Congress enacted. And I beg anybody, go to ice.gov and look at the data. Majority of people they're arresting are public safety threats. They're making your neighborhood safer. They're making your community safer. So these governors and mayors all be calling, up President Trump and thanking them for making their community safer, because that's exactly who we're focused on, exactly who we're getting out of this country.
He's absolutely right. The child rapists that they're arresting, that are here illegally, the child rapist doesn't stop and say, did you vote Republican or did you vote Democrat? They're making all the community safer. I know it's a tough thing for the Democrats to understand. I know it's a tough thing for the left to wrap their heads around, but it's the reality. Trump on CBS, he fired back a couple times. Norah O'Donnell asked him, is ICE going too far? Is ICE going too far? And they show this video of a mom getting tackled, and they're doing this all for emotional propaganda, right? Which I'll be honest with you, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it has been. We haven't seen the emotional propaganda ratcheted up to those levels yet. I was expecting to see crying kids on TV a lot more than we have. But Norah O'Donnell, she had the video package during the 60 Minutes interview with Donald Trump. She said, they're going after everyone. They tackled a mom. Are you afraid that they've gone too far? And President Trump had the best response ever.
More recently, Americans have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in a Chicago residential neighborhood, and the smashing of car windows. Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough, because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden and by Obama.
You're okay with those tactics?
Yeah, because you have to get the people out. You have to look at the people. Many of them are murderers. Many of them are people that were thrown out of their countries because they were, criminals.
But sir, getting a murderer out of his car when he refuses to open the door by smashing his window, don't you think that's a bit harsh? Don't you think you could have talked to him a little bit more? Could we have gotten a social worker there with you guys? Do you think that would have helped? No, we haven't gone far enough. It's the best answer. Do you think we've gone too far on this? No, I don't. In fact, voters and independent voters agree with President Trump. I was just scamming through Twitter here during the last commercial break, and Fox is doing this town hall style thing. They got all these independent voters set up. Wait until you hear what one voter said when it comes to mass deportations. I'll bring it to you next. It's 11 o'clock. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Eleven o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Drivers in Chilton, we've got an overturned semi. It is off on the right shoulder, but still slowing things down. 24 westbound past Whites Creek Pike. About 200 gallons of diesel fuel spilled there. So there's going to be some activity at that location for a while. It is, I've already said what time it is. Let's get to the news. Growing concerns about air travel across the country with the government shutdown now into its second month. Air traffic controllers now have been working without pay, calling in sick in order to work other jobs. Some of them. ABC News contributor and aviation expert Steve Ganyard.
We're getting to the point where the air traffic control system is going to be unsafe, where you're not able to pay salaries that people need to survive, and they're going to go out and they're going to do other things to earn the money that they need to support their families.
has some delays stacking up at America's airports. At Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport, with the line for TSA security extending outside the terminal. ABC's Luis Martinez on an aircraft carrier that's being sent to the Caribbean, where the U.S. military is going after alleged drug traffickers.
When the carrier gets there to the Caribbean, it'll be a 50% increase in the size of the forces, going from 10,000 U.S. military personnel to about 15,000. But the carrier was announced about going to the Caribbean about 10 days ago, and it is just now arriving towards the Strait of Gibraltar between the Mediterranean and the Atlantic. So once it does get to the Caribbean, it might be another 7 to 10 days.
Now, this part of a campaign that's been going on since early September. And tomorrow is Election Day. Voters in New Jersey and Virginia will cast their ballots for governor. In New York City, the race for mayor is in the final stretch. Democratic candidate Zohran Mamdani is campaigning at City Hall today. We get more from ABC's Aaron Katersky.
Mamdani's main rival, independent candidate and former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, pitched his experience.
Who has solutions that can actually work, and who has the ability to make those solutions a reality?
The race has captivated New Yorkers. Early voting ended Sunday with more than 735,000 ballots cast, far more than during the last race for mayor in 2021.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
President Trump making news again. The headlines, Chris. Donald Trump revokes the Secret Service from Kamala Harris. Ooh.
The unspoken part of this story is the hundreds of thousands of dollars we're going to save in therapists and PTSD counseling for the Secret Service agents that had to be on that detail with Kamala Harris. You know, we've heard the horror stories of Joe Biden swimming naked around his Secret Service agents, but I wonder how many times they've had to pick up a drunken Kamala Harris off the floor of a Wawa because she's on a Doritos run with Dougie. We don't need to pay for that, and she can afford her own security. I don't think this is much of a story. It's 11:05 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We got Mason Fleming producing. We got Ken Weaver in the newsroom. Oh, yeah. You give yourself an oh, yeah, but not Ken Weaver an oh, yeah?
Well, I was getting to it, but you jumped to it so fast.
All right, give one for Ken.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Give him two.
Oh, yeah.
He deserves it.
What?
He's hustling back there.
Oh, yeah.
He is. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, tune in the FM dial. You can watch us. Super Talk TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. Even though it's the jankiest of the platforms, the most free speech.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We want them to be better.
Eventually.
They will be.
Eventually.
Hey, we beat Mandis's video today. Did you see that?
I did see that.
I don't know if anybody knows this.
Reasons.
Me and Mandis, we're pretty competitive on the YouTube numbers.
Yeah, we compete a little bit.
And I officially won the day. It's only 11 o'clock, and I've already won.
You've beat him by how are we looking?
Quite a few. Well, let's be honest. The real reason is because Dan couldn't follow the rules and had his video removed from YouTube today.
Wait, wasn't it because you sent him a clip to play?
Okay, but he did the other two on his own. So there was
true.
There was a 3-strike issue with Dan Mandis this morning on his YouTube channel. Where, all right, you break down, what were his violations?
He played a visual clip from a game.
You can't do. You cannot play NFL videos on the stream or you're going to get taken out.
Harsh on that.
They are, like, you want to talk about Nazis.
Yeah. I think you get maybe 2 seconds of like a pass, and then
That's it. You can't, nothing else.
He played an SNL clip.
He played the SNL clip where they were making fun of the Nashville Predators and their Preds in the community. Community outreach, which is hilarious.
Which I think you get away if you only play like 5 to 10 seconds of the clip at a time.
Yeah.
And like interject comments.
You have to stop and pause and
make comments.
Yep.
You go for 3 minutes on that, you're
So he played, just to recap, he did the NFL game video, and then he did Preds in the community.
Yep. And then he played music from one of the games as well.
Yep. And then I showed up for the crisscross, and I made him play a Tony Romo clip. And I sealed his fate.
Locked in.
I didn't realize it would be that easy to get Mandis banned from YouTube every day.
Yeah, normally you just talk about vaccines, but
normally that's what I do. I might get him kicked off YouTube tomorrow too. Might find myself a clip.
It's the way to win.
It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game, but somebody's got to play it.
Even if Dan Mandis doesn't know that he's participating.
He doesn't have to know.
No, and it's fine.
We'll be like, we have no idea.
What are you talking about?
But no, so Mandis is never hangs out past 9.
No.
Like, and now I'm not knocking him. Like, dude, the dude gets up at midnight to prep his show.
He's here by like 2 a.m.
By the time he's done, he's cooked. He's done. He's put in the work and all the blessings to him. I don't think I'd be able to stay awake for the last break, let alone just do it at such a high level like he does.
Yeah.
But I see like Mandis pop in at like 10:30 and starts bugging Mason about something. I'm like, what is he doing here?
I was like, why is he still here? Did he turn around and come back just to ask?
And so he came in and he wanted to know where his YouTube video went.
Yeah, because he said he checked after the show. It was there. And then an hour later, nope.
So help us rub it in and hit like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Leave a comment. This show is way better than Dan's today.
We have 230 people here. We can hit 100 likes easy today.
Easily.
That'll Showdown.
We're averaging the amount of viewers that you get on a Gavin Newsom, Barack Obama live stream right now. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
So good.
Dude, I was reading an article last night. CNN put out this article. It was behind a paywall, and you know how I do. It's a pirate's life for me. So I found the archive link, and I'm reading this article right before I go to bed. It's good. It makes you fall asleep. And they're like, wow, Barack Obama's really jumping to the forefront. He wanted to take a back seat, and look where that got him. Look how that, like, what do you mean? He was, like, influencing the Biden presidency the entire time. Like, yeah, he hid behind the curtain, but we knew who was pulling the levers. But said now he's learned his lesson. He's going to take a much more front-facing role with elections, and we saw it when he was on the Gavin Newsom podcast. They did a live stream for 50 voters or for Prop 50 to get people to vote for Prop 50, and I mean that video did absolutely awful. You have the first black president, the current governor of California, and they're rallying to get people on Prop 50. And let's just see. Where is the one with Barack Obama? Oh, it's from 4 weeks ago. It has like 3,000 views. It's embarrassing. If that's Obama being at the forefront and not playing the background anymore, like, you're doing it wrong. I don't know who needs to tell you that you're doing it wrong. If Barack Obama wants to play the forefront, maybe He could tell Democrat governors to get out of the way when it comes to deportation enforcement, and you allow ICE in the jails. Maybe he would tell Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to bend the knee and reopen the government. Maybe they could get them to focus their energy on helping the American people as opposed to hurting the American people. That's what I would do. And then you could label yourself as the Democrat that's fixing things. But no. Why would they do something like that, right? It's insane. But this is the reality of the situation that we're in. Barack Obama, he's gonna take a more front-facing role when it comes to the government shutdown, when it comes to mass deportations. Fox News had an independent voter on earlier this morning. They're doing a round table, a little town hall kind of thing. They had some independents, they had some Republicans, and they had this guy, Dov. Dov is an independent voter. And Dov is a little bit upset with the way the Democrats seem to favor illegal aliens over American citizens. And he wasn't holding back. He laid it out perfectly. So simply, even a Democrat should be able to understand.
The difference between being kind, and to me, my faith is one thing is being nice to people from different lands, but they also have to be respectful of our laws. And
hang on one second. Is that the right one? Yep, that's the right one. Sorry.
Everybody wants to come to the United States because we have a great economy, have a lot of opportunity, but there's a process to do that. My family has been here since at least the 1700s. There's no one that's gave us a free $1,400 debit card. No one gave us a free apartment. No one gave us anything free. We had to work for it. So there is a process. And if we respect all people, that means that the people that come here need to respect our laws. And that's all that we're saying. We allowed 20 million immigrants in here legally since 2000. How much is too much, and how much are we going to put the burden on the taxpayers? Because the money has to come from somewhere. Yeah. It's just common sense.
No, it's common sense, but as we know about common sense, it's not exactly common these days. It's definitely not common within the Democrat Party. Not at all. It's a mess out there. They don't know what they're doing. We'll probably have the government open later on this week, but we'll see. We'll see. Back to the CBS 60 Minutes interview with Donald Trump. Donald Trump was asked about China invading Taiwan, and he did the same thing that he's been doing when it comes to the Venezuela questions. Why would I tell you my secret military plans, Nora? Listen to this exchange.
Did you order U.S. forces to defend Taiwan?
You'll find out if it happens, and he understands the answer to that.
Why not say
This never even came up yesterday as a subject. He never brought it up. People were a little surprised at that. He never brought it up because he understands it, and he understands it very well.
Do you mind if I ask, when you say he understands, why not communicate that publicly to the rest of us? What does he understand?
I don't want to give away. I can't give away my secrets. I don't want to be one of these guys that tells you exactly what's going to happen if something happens. The other side knows, but I'm not somebody that tells you everything because you're asking me a question. But they understand what's going to happen, and he has openly said, and his people have openly said at meetings, we would never do anything while President Trump is president.
I love the energy. You know, you could go the other route with a guy like Barack Obama, and you could say, here's the line in the sand. If you use chemical weapons against your own people, then we're going to have to interfere. And you could lay that all out in the public, and then when it happens, your hands are tied, and you either have to do it or you look incompetent and weak. Barack Obama chose the latter. But you don't have to say anything at all. President Trump with the right move there. We'll wait and see what happens. I've made it very clear to them what would happen, but I don't need to publicly declare or announce anything. And it gives President Trump an out. It gives him some options. I'm here for it. Trump also isn't trying to ruffle feathers. I mean, there's a delicate balance to negotiating with China, right? We saw Hakeem Jeffries last week say that Trump got punked by Xi Jinping. It's just an unfair categorization for all intents and purposes. Scott Bessent was on Fox News Sunday talking about China, talking about those statements from Hakeem Jeffries, and he said it's ignorant and sad. Hakeem Jeffries going out there and saying that we got punked by China. Ignorant and sad.
What do you make of his characterization of what happened in China?
I think it's ignorant, and I think it's kind of sad he has no idea how ignorant he is, because I was in the room, and I can tell you I was there for the president's entire trip, and it was a tour de force. President went into Malaysia, signed trade deals, peace deals with Thailand and Cambodia, that everyone in the Asia region wants to be partners with the U.S. We moved on to Japan. The president and the new prime minister of Japan had great chemistry. And then we went into Korea, and the meeting with President Xi was one of great respect and many accomplishments.
No, you got punked, says Hakeem Jeffries. Timo Obama, Dollar Store Obama, Buck Obama, Chuck E. Cheese Obama, as Charlemagne coined him. Hakeem Jeffries. You got punked. It's like, did we? Did we? Scott Bessent doubled down, going after the Wall Street Journal editorial board, calling them a bunch of grumpy old men because Trump and his administration are trying to get us out from underneath the sword that China has had us under for years. And we saw that in real time during the COVID pandemic. I was talking with some friends over the weekend, and they don't. This guy I was talking to, he's like, I don't pay attention too much. He's like, what's the problem with China? I said, I don't have a problem with them making T-shirts or socks or shoes. My issue is when we get into a war with China if they're producing all the steel and we need to make tanks and airplanes. Or there's another pandemic because of like a pangolin at a wet market or something like that. And then China has access to all the medicine. There are some real national security threats there that we need to address. And Scott Bessent says, listen, we're going to get us out from under the sword that China has over us, and the fake news be damned.
Well, I think it's naive for the Wall Street Journal editorial board, who I call a bunch of grumpy old men, to think that the Chinese weren't going to roll out these rare earth restrictions. They've been putting this plan together for 25, 30 years, and the U.S. has been asleep at the switch, and now this administration, we're going to go at warp speed over the next 1-2 years, and we're going to get out from under this sword that the Chinese have over us, and they have it over the whole world. And this time, we have rallied the allies, and so it is going to be all the Western democracies, the Asian democracies, and India are also going to join us in this in trying to form our own supply chains. We don't want to decouple from China, but we need to de-risk. They've shown themselves to be an unreliable partner in many areas.
It's not just about decoupling, it's about de-risking. Again, there's no harm in China making Nikes. You know, you need little teeny tiny fingers to get the stitching right. You know, there's no harm in socks or T-shirts, I guess, you know. But there's a real issue with steel and medicine and chips. There's some things that we need to react to. And who would you rather have doing this? Would you rather have President Trump, or would you rather have Kamala Harris? I think that's an easy call. I think it's an easy call all day. Then when we look forward, who would you rather have in 2028? J.D. Vance or Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom, he can't help himself. Again, when he's not doing failed live streams with the first black president of the United States of America, Barack Obama, he's doing interviews with Meet the Press, and he is absolutely 100% running for president. And he was given this interview over the weekend, and he said, you know what he hates more than anything? It's a politician who sits there and lies to you.
Nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
Now, he says that, and then not 5 minutes later in the interview, he's asked about Joe Biden and his cognitive abilities.
Break.
Did you legitimately believe that he was capable of serving as president until January of 2029?
Yeah, I think my focus was frankly situational. It was making sure Donald Trump didn't get back into office to experience everything that we're experiencing today. And there was no interaction I had that suggested otherwise.
Did you think Joe Biden could realistically make it to 2029? Oh, there's one thing that I can't stand. It's when a politician sits there and lies to you. Yes, Joe Biden would have been great. What? Does he understand that he's contradicting himself here?
Nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
Anybody else roll their eyes when he said that Joe Biden would have been able to make it to 2029 and think to themselves, give me a break? Give me a break. break. Gavin Newsom, he hates it when politicians lie. Mays Moore put this together on X. Just remember, Gavin Newsom hates it when politicians sit there and lie to you.
Not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx.
So can we finally put that to bed?
Yeah,
we agree?
But where did that even...
No more Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about? Impactful this has been on the Latinx community. Latinx community politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx.
This is going to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
11:22, Super Talk, 99.7, WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here, and we had some rain over the weekend. We tried to keep the kids inside as best we could because we knew they were going to find the mud puddle. They were going to find the dirt. They were going to find the grime, and eventually they were going to bring it into the house. Well, you ask me who won. It was the kids. You ask me who lost. It was the carpets. But we didn't lose for too long. We call Zero Res. $45, any room. They use their exclusive ZR water. No soap, no harsh chemicals, no residue. Which means the carpets are back to looking immaculate. And they're not just going to look clean. They're going to stay clean longer. The kids are going to be able to sprawl out. Dogs can roll around. We don't have to stress about what's in the fibers. They do more than carpets, air ducts, tile, rugs, upholstery, the works. This is perfect if you have just as many kids or just as many dogs as my wife and I do. Right now, again, any room, $45. You're not going to beat the deal. Call Zero Res. What are you waiting for? 615-535-9376. Let's be honest. Your carpets are gross. Let's get them cleaned up. 615-535-9376. ZeroResNashville.com.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
I will ask you this directly because a lot of people listen, they tune in, they tune out, and they perhaps have not heard this conversation in the past. But if you were called to something beyond what you're currently doing, I think you've made no bones about it that you would look toward public service in a future capacity in any way that you can serve the people of Tennessee.
Yes,
is that fair?
I would, absolutely. Yeah, I've had a remarkable life, man. I grew up on a farm in Missouri. My family didn't have a whole lot. And from there, I found something I was good at and traveled the world, entertained millions of people, provided my family with life I wouldn't have thought possible. I'm a product of the American dream, and I'm a big believer in what Ronald Reagan said, that freedom is never more than a generation away from extinction. So people like me who have benefited so much from what this country has to offer and the opportunities that we're given, we create for ourselves, I think that it's imperative that we make sure to pass that on to the next generation.
All right, drivers. Boy, that overturned semi in Jolton is really backing up westbound 24. It's backed up from Whites Creek Pike all the way to Old Hickory Boulevard going westbound. 200 gallons of diesel spilled. It is blocking the right lane of 24 westbound right there at Whites Creek Pike. Then we got a crash reported in Sumner County, Vietnam Veterans Boulevard eastbound before Saundersville Road. Had a gun at school in Nashville today, and President Trump is hinting the U.S. military might deploy to Nigeria. We'll tell you more about that at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
11:27, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Ken Weaver, he's got some headlines headed your way.
Boy, those were some headlines.
Let's go. We're also going to be talking about Nigeria in the lightning round on the way.
All right.
Because Nicki Minaj has entered the chat. Did you see that over the weekend?
No.
You didn't see Nicki Minaj entering the chat? Ken, where are you getting your headlines?
I was probably stuck on a recipe somewhere, man.
He missed. He's burying the lead, you guys. We'll redeem Ken Weaver in the lightning round on the way. Nicki Minaj, Nigeria, and President Trump. That was almost the title of the YouTube episode today.
So Nikki's weighing in on foreign policy, is she?
Nicki is like, she's going scorched earth. She's even putting out tweets that she's had to delete.
Goodness.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
She's had to do that, right?
She's she's a bit based.
Yeah.
A bit based. But I'm here for it. We'll talk about it on the way. Right now, though, we've been doing this. We're doing this All Pro Dad thing, which is happening Friday at Nissan Stadium, and I'm really excited about it. We talk a lot about how important dads are, and then that's kind of like what we do. And then we're like, that's it, and we just sit on our hands from there. All Pro Dad has taken it to the next level. This is a group that equips dads with the skills to be the best dads. And they do it through email encouragement, podcasts, chapters. There's 80 All Pro Dad chapters here in Middle Tennessee, and in Tennessee as a state. And they're going to be doing their All Pro Dad event Friday night at Nissan Stadium, where we're going to be hanging out on the field that the Titans show up on. I almost said play, but they show up. And we're going to be out there. I told my boys we're going, and my wife's coming, and the whole family's coming. We're excited. And I told the boys there might be some scouts in attendance, given how the Titans season's gone.
Yeah, with how...
You might get a walk-on role. So we want to give away some tickets to that event. If you want to come, you're more than welcome to join us. I got a family pack of tickets. And here's the thing. It's All Pro Dad, and there's definitely like a father focus. But if you're a single mom, like, you're invited. We want you there too. If you are a grandparent, a grandmother, a grandfather, we want you there too. Because it's not just about the dads. It's about raising strong young men. That's the real goal here. And you need strong dads to do it. You need strong families to do it. And we want you there. 615-737-9986. Caller number 9 right now. You're going to land a family pack of tickets to the All Pro Dad event happening Friday night at Nissan Stadium. If you don't win the tickets, you can get some. Family passes are $35. Promo code DAD gets an extra $5 off at allprodad.net, I believe it is. Yep, allprodad.com. Excuse me. allprodad.com. Caller 9 right now. You win the tickets. It's 11:30. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. And right now in Nashville, a 16-year-old student at James Lawson High School arrested, facing charges for bringing a stolen pistol into the building. Security detected the weapon as he passed through the Evolve weapons detection system. And police say officers later found an extended magazine and loose rounds in his backpack. The teen is charged with possessing a firearm on school property and juvenile weapon possession. More than 500,000 Tennesseans have lost SNAP benefits to help pay for groceries due to the government shutdown. It's not known exactly when emergency funds will be used to keep it going. However, we are seeing reports now that the Trump administration plans to make those emergency funds, or rather release those emergency funds to fully cover November benefits. However, it's going to take about $9 billion to get full benefits. There's only about $5.2 billion in contingency funds. So there will be some partial benefits released in November for SNAP beneficiaries. Doesn't look like they're going to get the full benefit, but at least some. And President Trump is threatening to deploy the U.S. military to Nigeria, as we hear from ABC's Karen Travers.
He said it's because that there are killings of Christians in that country, in Nigeria. Now, there is political violence there, but when you look at it, it is complex. There are people targeted for their religion, but also ethnicity. It's important to note that the Nigerian government has pushed back on what they say is a mischaracterization.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. If you're tired of back pain, knee pain, neck pain, ruining the life, well, you got to talk to these guys. They're the pros, and they still have the Big Daddy Trump special going on. What is the BDT? Well, it's just $12, and it's going to land you a full exam, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment. You heard me right. All of that for only $12. Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley just want to get you back to a pain-free life. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm not looking for surgery. Good. I don't want to give that to you. You might be thinking, I don't want a painful injection. Perfect. They don't want it. They don't like needles. You might be thinking, no opioids for me. I say this is the right spot for you, because none of those are options. What they're going to focus on is non-surgical spinal decompression, robot lasers, anti-gravity machines. So no matter what you're dealing with, back pain, neck pain, sciatica, numbness, bulging discs, they'll treat it all. And it won't be with surgery, injections, or opioids. Give them a call today. Grab your MRI and get ready to finally understand your condition and fix it. 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009. Or find them online. Painisbad.com.
Did you see this lunatic?
What's wrong with me? Oh,
right.
hey, smile for the camera, you little Nazi
That's
bitch!
enough.
Kill all Nazis! We won World War II! Fuck you! Kill all Nazis!
So that is a crazed leftist yelling at a Republican and calling him Nazis. When will the Democrats understand calling Republicans Nazis is anti-Semitic? Because when you do that, what you're doing is sanitizing what Adolf Hitler and the Nazis did. That, my friends, is anti-Semitic.
Kill all Nazis! We won World War II! Fuck you! Kill all Nazis!
It's 11:36 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Mason Fleming is producing. Ken Weaver's in the newsroom. And this is the time of the day where we run through all the stories that we didn't have a chance to get to, all the stories that couldn't fill a whole segment. This, my friends, it's the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
And you know what? This is going to be ahistoric. Ahistoric and historic? Ahistoric. It's not a vowel, right?
No. And goes with if it's a vowel, yeah. Historic.
This is going to be ahistoric.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It feels
Starts with an
weird
H.
saying it.
Ahistoric, yeah.
It's ahistoric.
Because H is a consonant.
I know, it just feels like it doesn't flow right.
Chris, what is your point?
My point is this is going to be a historic lightning round.
Oh, yeah? What for?
We got some breaking news, boys. Breaking news in the lightning round.
This is a breaking news update on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
First time we've ever had breaking news in the lightning round.
In the lightning round, yeah, specifically.
Yeah, that's why it's an historic lightning round. A historic lightning round.
Looks like you can use either or.
Which one sounds better, Ken?
And historic.
That's what I thought, but now the more I say it, and historic, it just feels weirder.
Ahistoric.
You're smacking two consonants together.
Is it ahistoric or an?
Ahistoric.
Yeah, I think it's ahistoric.
This is
goes before vowels.
Just still feels more flowy if I said this is an historic lightning round.
Listen, I'm not going to stop you. You missay stuff all the time.
Fair.
I do it every half hour.
Nancy Pelosi, would you like to share the breaking news with us?
Shut up.
Oh. All right, I guess I'll do it. I guess I'll do it myself. Nancy Pelosi will not seek re-election in 2026.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
I thought I had the Joan one queued up.
This is one of those ones where I go straight to the comments.
Oh, for sure.
Just right to the comments.
You have to.
I sprained my ankle running to the comments on this one. So I'm just going to read you the comments from the people. This broke about less than an hour ago. If she can live till then, crap. It's comment number one. Comment number two, time to really drink. Comment number three, Pelosi retiring before her portfolio does. Did she make that announcement via Ouija board?
No, she made it from the end of the bar.
Whose stock trades am I going to follow now? Took decades, but at least one swamp creature is finally draining itself.
True.
Mm-hmm. I thought she was the Undertaker at the rate she was going. Terrible.
That one's good.
Well, it'll be hard to govern when she's in prison. Don't hold your breath. Another one bites the dust. She's only 85 years old. She's got a lot of life in front of her.
That's good too.
The end of an era. The No Kings protest really got through to her. Right on, guys.
I like the end of an error.
The end of an error.
That's really good.
Not an era, but an error.
And then the last comment I saw that I really liked was heavily invest in wine, guys. She drinks enough on the job. I can only imagine retirement.
She have so much more free time.
Nancy, any comments on your early retirement?
Shut up.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, yes, I said early retirement. That makes it funnier. All right. Well, congratulations, Nancy.
I guess.
Do you get a watch and a cake?
Yeah, what's the severance package for that? Oh, wait, she's not getting fired. Never mind.
Listen, I'm tired of the Nancy slander. All right? If you losers had just found yourselves a good savings account, you too could have turned your, $100K salary into several $100 million. But you didn't do that, did you?
You didn't plan ahead.
You didn't do it, and now you're taking it all out on Nancy. I don't think that's fair.
I think not.
I don't think that's fair.
I don't think that's fair either.
She gets a lot of hate for that. She has a credit union, you guys. she's doing it by the book.
Well, it is a little archaic. She said time to set it up.
Yeah, she's using a credit union.
Is this fitting at all?
You trying to get me kicked off the stream like
Mandis?
Mandis? Is that what you're trying to do?
I was watching that timer.
All right, good.
We're good.
Congratulations. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I love how they always do this like they're like a wrestler now. They're going to do a retirement tour. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
You think she'll release another book?
I guess.
I mean, what else is she going to do besides
Incoherent Ramblings from the Wynant by Nancy Pelosi?
Maybe Joe and her do a combo book.
Wasn't it during COVID? She was like eating ice cream in her fridge, and then she was like, "Everything's fine. Look at, I got ice cream." It wasn't even like it wasn't the Kroger brand, you know. It wasn't. And then she went and got her hair done. Do you remember that? It was a setup. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Nancy, you're not supposed to get set up. All right, another story for you here in the lightning round. You heard Ken mention this one in your newscast. Trump is toying with the idea of sending the military into Nigeria. President Trump warned that if the Nigerian government continued to allow Christians in the country to be killed, the United States military may very well go into Nigeria, and I quote, guns a-blazing, which is just the most badass way to say that you're going to go into Nigeria if they keep going after Christians. If you're watching us on Supertalk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, the True Social post is up on your screen. Donald Trump saying if the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. I am hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attacking our cherished Christians. Warning, the Nigerian government better move fast. Don't you love having a strong president in office? Don't you love having a guy who, you know, the Nigerian government, they woke up and they saw that and went, wait, what? Oh, crap. I love it. In response to Trump's comments about the mass slaughter of Christians in Nigeria, Nigerian Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Matama Tugar denied that there was a genocide occurring in the country. You're denying. Sir, we all see the videos in real time. This is one of my favorite things about social media these days is the ability to debunk these losers in real time. He said, for the avoidance of any doubt and out of respect for all the victims and survivors around the world of this unique and appalling crime against humanity, let the record show there is no genocide now or ever in Nigeria, Tugger said in a statement to Newsweek. Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a Muslim, has also denied that there is religious persecution against Christians taking place. Ooh, Takia, anyone? Labeling it as a lie from the pit of hell. Breitbart News' France Martel reported that 11 years ago in April 2014, Boko Haram's terrorists abducted nearly 300 schoolgirls from Christian community of Chibok in northern Borno state. More than 90 of the girls still remain missing. Rap superstar Nicki Minaj responded to this. And Nicki, listen, I'm here for it. Just waking people up and red pilling them to what's going on. She put on social media a tweet that said, reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. Numerous countries all around the world are being affected by this horror, and it's dangerous to pretend we don't notice. Thank you to the president and his team for taking this serious. God bless every persecuted Christian. Let's remember to lift them up in prayer. Seems like a very reasonable response till you go into her comments and you realize that there's a bunch of leftists that just think she's insane. There's a lot of people speaking up and giving her praise for this as well. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. She did respond to some of the haters, if you will. she posted a tweet doubling down, backing Trump, and then she deleted it. And I'll bring you that tweet because the internet is forever, even if you delete it. She said, imagine hearing that Christians are being persecuted and not being able to have empathy for them because you're blinded by your own personal obsession with Trump. That says more about you than him, my darling. Blocked for being asleep. She had quote tweeted somebody being mad at her. And she went on to say, imagine hearing that Christians are being murdered and make it about you being gay. Oh my gosh. What an absolute savage.
That's a nasty one. That's nasty.
She said, imagine making it about you being gay.
Wild.
Is this the timeline we asked for? Because it's the timeline we got. Oh my gosh. She said, when my home was swatted multiple times with my innocent toddler inside with maybe 20 officers with guns drawn pointed at our home due to political corruption, you being gay couldn't save me. Expecting someone to stay oppressed, abused, targeted, harassed, and consistently being ignored by public figures who were supposed to be helping them says more about you than it does anyone else. I'll advocate for you the same way I'm advocating for murdered Christians in Nigeria. Like I always have. Just remember that. Diligently, compassionately, remember that part too. LOL. And I know you're not a diehard fan. Let me think about if I want to block you for the next 10 to 15. Love you. Whew. Here we are. Here we are.
Throwing punches.
Nicki Minaj is not backing down. I'm here for it. She deleted those tweets. She shouldn't have. She shouldn't have. She should have stood strong. Over 50,000 Christians killed in Nigeria by Islamic extremists. First comment underneath those posts. I don't think I've ever said this before, but Nicki Minaj is right. It's a wild timeline. Are we going to get hats? Nicki Minaj was right about everything.
I think just stop it was right. Nicki Minaj was right.
Nicki Minaj was right. Imagine hearing that Christians are being murdered and making it about you being gay. Whoa. Whoa, that's a spicy one. That's a spicy one. But we all understand the dangers of radical Islam, even though people don't want to address it. I saw a story from over the weekend that would make your blood boil. Shout out to our own FBI for stopping the terror attack before it happened in Michigan with their arrest Friday morning in Dearborn and in Inkster. But that didn't stop radical Islamists from doing what radical Islamists do in London. Brings us to the next story in our lightning round. Excuse me, I said London. I meant Paris. Londonistan, Parisistan, it all kind of blurs together. There's nothing that you can do, and you look at these two cities, if it wasn't for Big Ben and the Eiffel Tower, it looks like the same city. Corporate wants to know the difference between these two pictures. They're the same picture.
Same picture.
It's the same picture. But this is what we see. A group of teenage girls were assaulted with acid on their way home from trick-or-treating by a group of hooded youths on Saturday evening in a Paris suburb. It was just hooded youths, you guys. You know how the hooded youths are with their affinity towards acid attacks. It's hooded youths. It has nothing to do with any religion. This has never happened anywhere before. Don't look at any historical context. This is the youth. It looks like they have a youth problem in the suburbs of Paris. Police have opened an investigation after 6 costume-wearing teens were attacked on their way home from an evening of trick-or-treating in the commune of the Val-de-Marne suburb of Paris. At around 8:30 p.m., the group of girls were approached by 3 hooded youths who began to follow them. When the girls attempted to flee, the youth took out a soda bottle and threw it at them. Upon impact, the bottle exploded. Its liquid contents sprayed on the girls' costumes, parts of their bodies, as well as their eyes, mouths, and skin. After noting the substance had corroded their costumes, the girls then fled to the house of one of their parents, who went back to the scene and retrieved the bottle. It was then reported by the Paris that the Paris Fire Brigade identified the substance as a mixture of hydrochloric acid and aluminum pieces, potentially explained why it exploded. Fortunately, the girls suffered no major burns as a result of the attack so far. No suspects have been identified. Those dreaded youth, they get away with it again. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Radical Islam is dangerous, and it needs to be taken serious. I'm glad that we see a lot more people opening their eyes to the reality of what happens when radical Islam goes unchecked, people like Nicki Minaj. But it's time for our elected officials to open their eyes to this as well. Otherwise, we are going to end up exactly how London and Paris have ended up. They are conquered. They are conquered cities. You can make the argument that France and England are conquered nations. You can make the argument it's going to happen here too if we don't wise up. 11:52, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. It's 11:57, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, Water Filtration Systems, Water Softeners, BetterWater.com. Chad Benson's in the studio. I halfway expected you to show up wearing a costume today because you just had too much fun.
I did have a lot of fun, and we were
the past few
costume-tacular.
days.
It was spectacular. I feel a bit underdressed right now, underwhelmed.
I'm the underwhelmed one.
So, but I was, we did have a lot of fun. It was nice. Cold out there. I just want to tell everybody that. A little chillier.
It's a little bit.
Everybody said, you walk to work? Yes, in shorts because I am indoors. Dan and I just had a meeting. We were talking about this.
I'm a man, damn it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm inside, but I will tell you, it is a bit chilly outside. I believe
cold.
fall is here.
Yeah. We got baseball tonight. It's going to be like 40 degrees.
Turtlenecks.
I'm going to say, no, you man up.
You man up.
T-shirts.
Short sleeves, no gloves.
Everybody's cold. Everybody's cold.
Like those guys and they go out there when it's like snowing and they'll practice in football without their shirts on and stuff like that. You can be that kind of guy.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, no.
What are you talking about today? What stories caught your attention over the weekend?
Oh, we'll talk a little bit about Nigeria. I guess we're going in there next potentially, so that's pretty good.
Nicki Minaj leading the charge
to Nigeria. Well,
we're gonna be making up hats.
It's gonna
say Nicki Minaj was right about everything.
Oh, Nikki. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about some immigration stuff, obviously some Trump stuff on the 60 Minutes last night. Got a bunch of fun stuff to talk about as well.
Did you watch the 60 Minutes interview
I saw this morning
on the network?
Yeah.
But did you watch the unedited version from the Trump team, or did you watch the 60 Minutes version?
I watched the 30 Minutes version.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
They kept editing it down with like cutscenes. They're like, we're gonna tell you what really is going on.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the way I think 60 Minutes needs to do it. Everybody gets 15 minutes. Period. Case closed. End of story. It can't go over that. And if you're in the middle of answering your question, sorry, that's it. You got your 15. Play the whole thing so nobody can bitch anymore.
That's one way to do it,
right? There you go. Or just give Trump the 60 Minutes.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
It would be a very high-rated program. I'd imagine.
I don't know why you wouldn't, especially coming off the Bills game and the Chiefs. Just give them the 60 Minutes and just go with it, like they would a halftime thing in the Super Bowl. Just give it to them and go with it.
Do you think that Trump turns off the leftist audience that they bring on the same way if I play too many Kamala Harris clips, the conservative audience is like, ugh, yuck?
No, because they stick around, I think, to watch because their goal is CBS going to push back? What are they going to do to expose it?
Yeah. It's rage bait.
It's rage bait.
It's rage porn.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but if I was them, and it doesn't matter what you're doing anymore, I would just show the 15 minutes of whatever it is you have and say there's nothing else here. And that way, or go and put it up immediately, the entire thing. Say we have to edit it because we only have 60 minutes.
That's it.
There you go.
Chad solving the world's problems. Noon to 3.